Okay, welcome to day 2 of the architecture of business. So now today, yesterday we were talking about the meaning of business. Business is a machine. You don't scale the founder, you scale the business, the system, not the founder. And today we are going to talk about why most people don't own business. So yesterday, we established a foundational principle of businesship. A business is a machine designed to convert what resources into value. Today, we must confront another uncomfortable what reality. Number one, most people don't own business. They are what self-employed, and this is one of the most worst thing people don't like to hear. You don't own a business, you are self-employed. They were like, what do you mean? What do you mean? After all, I have a shop. Like, who cares? You are only powerful in the you are like a blind man, a one eye king leading the company of the blind. And that's illusion. They have customers, I have employees that Jesus Christ of Nazareth. So let's look at one of the most interesting things today. So imagine a man, let me read an analogy I wrote down here. Imagine a man who owns a small supermarket. Every morning he opens the shop. Every evening he closes the shop. He handles the cash. He approves purchases. He supervises employees. He resolves customer complaints. He negotiates with suppliers. He manages inventory. He makes every important decision. Wow. Now let me ask you one important question. If this man disappears in 60 days, what do you think that will happen to the business? In many cases, 9 out of 10, the business will decline. That's why you see in the eastern part of Nigeria, immediately the boss that owns the shop dies, the business closes. They are just self-employed in a higher manner. So employees will become confused. Suppliers will struggle to get instruction. Customers will experience inconsistency. Eventually, operation may stop altogether. The business will stop. So this reveals something important. That supermarket is solely dependent on the owner, which is not how a business should run. A business shouldn't solely dependent on the owner. For you guys to make a decision or sign a document, you guys will wait for your CEO for 125 days before the CEO will decide to wake up and come to office, then sign the document, then they will wait for him to review. Imagine. It doesn't make sense. So most people are self-employed. I understand you can, when you are starting up, you can do it. You can be the manager, the clerk, the accountant, the everything, the receptionist. But after some years, maximum after 2 years or 3 years, you shouldn't be doing that unnecessary stuff that doesn't bring money into the company. But you will not agree. The only difference between that nonsense, that manager, that nonsense man that has a supermarket is that he calls himself a CEO. Oh, I'm a CEO. It doesn't make sense. And that's one of the most demonic spirits when it comes to Africa. We believe once we give ourselves that title of the CEO, we start difference between the person that owns a corporate empire and that man with a supermarket is the person that owns a corporate empire understood one of the most important things, which is what? Architecture, design. So the business has transcended beyond the limit of the man into something what? Interesting. The owner is still owns a job. He still goes to job. He doesn't own the company. He's a worker. What do I mean like a worker? He has a job, not a company. He owns a job. So the only difference is that he gave himself the name, which is what? CEO, which is one of the most weirdest thing the eastern part of Nigeria normally think about. Oh, I'm a CEO. That's illusion. But I don't think so. That's why we have so many small businesses. If there are 100 small businesses that started in a year, only four will survive the next 5 years. Only four. That's data. That's one of the greatest illusion when it comes to entrepreneurship. Being self-employed. So let's move on. Let me give you one of the most interesting things. So the difference between this company and Nescafe, Microsoft, major banks, if the CEO takes 3 months vacation, the company will still be running outside the CEO, outside the person that owns the company. The company will be functioning very perfectly well, as if they don't have a CEO. Why? Because the organization has become bigger than the individual, which is the founder. But one of the problems we have in this Nigeria or this part of the world, the founders doesn't necessarily want to leave the company. They want the business to center around them. They think they are one of the most important factors in their life, in the company. You are not one of the most important factor in the company. The company is, not you. Yeah, I understand. I'm hurting your feelings, but you must set your emotion aside to build a structure and system. You are no longer running a company. You are running an organization. A Lego what? Organization. Go and check the meaning of the word company. Let me show you. Let me show you the meaning of the word company. I wrote it down in my notes on my ear during this course of this teaching. Let me show you the meaning of the word company. A group of people gathered together, especially, is a group of people, not one. Let me find the actual meaning. Like there's a meaning I gave it. I like it. I like that particular meaning. Let me find it. The original meaning is let me find it. Let me find the actual meaning. So the organization or a Lego entities that carries out what? Business. So it's an organization. The word organization must come into play. You are not one of the most important person. Put that in your mind. That's trauma that is doing you. Let's move on. So why? Because the organization has become bigger than any individual. The organization is driven by system, by process, by structure, by governance. The organization is driven by institutional memory, not your desire. Sorry. This is what separates businesses from jobs. So that supermarket man, what the man has is what? A job. He doesn't have a business. He has a job. A job. A job depends on the individual to function. Business depends on a system to function. One of the greatest transition in businessship is the moment from personal dependency to system what? Dependency. That's why we are telling you to come and join this 90 days and you are still misbehaving, waiting for your village people to clap in your door. Oh, then you can join us. You have been running that job you called self-employed, you called your business for the past 10 years and you are still self-employed and thinking you own a company. You are dreaming, you are daydreaming. And one of the most interesting thing about these people, they brag. I've been running this business for 20 years. Only me. That's illusion. That's crazy. You are very... My God, man. Jesus Christ. Something is doing you. And the lost in paradise. They were bragging. Only me. I've been running this business for 20 years. So look at yourself. You are older. Like, for 20 years, that means you are close to MTN. MTN is like 21 or 22. I don't actually know it's like 21 or 22 years, something like that. Look at Facebook. You are older than Facebook. And you're still self-employed for 20 years. Oh, blood of Jesus. Oh, God. I'm ashamed. So many entrepreneurs are trapped because they are trying to grow without making this transition. And one of the most interesting thing this Businesship, the architecture of Businesship will do for you is to help you in the transition from a job to a company, an organization. Think about what will happen when the founder is responsible for everything. So imagine now you are responsible for everything. Every single thing that happens in your business, you are responsible. How can you scale? You cannot be everywhere at once. You don't have that energy. Even Flash can't do it. Even Jesus Christ, the omniscience, omnipresence, can't even. Only God can do it. When Jesus Christ was in this earth, he cannot be everywhere every time. When Muhammad was in this earth, he cannot be everywhere every time. It's only you. What did he scale? He scaled the system, the Islamic system. What did Jesus Christ scale? Jesus scaled the system, not himself. The system. You don't scale yourself. You scale a system. You cannot transit from that thing you are doing, thinking that one day it will blow. Let me break the news to you. One day will not come. I promise you, it will never come. You don't desire to be rich. Hope is not a strategy. I hope by this year ending, God will do mercy for himself. Like, imagine. It doesn't make sense. Oh, God. Look at, you're hoping. You don't hope to be great. You must put the energy. You don't scale yourself. You can't scale one thing. You must scale the system. Look, everything must pass through you. Every call must pass through you. Even this is one of the problems. It affects everything. Everything must pass through you. That's illusion. You will die for nothing. You will die young. That's why. Oh, should I say this now? If I say this now, it's like I'm very wicked. But let's forget it. The founder, everything must pass through the founder. That's illusion. This scaled, build system in such a way that they don't need you to survive. The company can't grow beyond the founder. Just imagine yourself. Just look at what you are thinking. You will never see greatness in your life. I promise you. You will die poor. You will die being self-employed. Sorry. This is one of the reasons why businesses remain small for decades. That's it. There's a woman I know then. You normally buy, what's it called? Akara from her, every time. Till today, she's still doing the same thing. Like, I don't get the same container, the same everything. I don't get. Why not? And he'll be bragging. This is what I've been doing. I raise my children. Blah, 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 blah. Like, I understand what they're saying. It's good, but that's mediocrity. Sorry. I don't mean to offend you. I'm sorry. The founder has become both the engine and the ceiling of the business. And that's one of the most crazy things about those people. The pride they have, the arrogance of shouting, I'm the business. Like, look at, I've run it for 20 years. Imagine. You're not ashamed of yourself. I've been running it for 20 years. And you're still running it. You are a big disappointment. So the organization can only grow as far as one person can think. Work like so that means for your organization to scale, that organization it can't scale. The first part is it can't scale because of that illusion. Someone depends, like the founder is the hope and the salvation of everything. So it can't scale. It doesn't have, even Jesus Christ comes and breathe upon it. Even Muhammad comes, the business can't scale. Sorry. Until they build systems and structures. You don't scale a system. For something to grow, system must be in place. Immediately your business starts growing. Oh God, let's forget it. If I say it now, you can't carry. This is a public school, not a private school. If you want a premium information, you must come to the private school, not public school. Now, this is a general knowledge. So I can't tell you that. Sorry. Let's move on. So no institution can be built this way. Institution requires what? Systems. Number one. Institution requires what? Delegation. Institution requires what? Leadership beyond the founder. This is why the goal of Businesship is not to simply what? Help people start business. The goal is to help people build what? Organization that can survive without what? Without them. Yeah. A founder should eventually become the least important person in the daily operation of the business. You should become the least important person in the daily operation of your business affairs. So let me repeat again. For an institution to scale, number one, it requires what? System. Number two, delegation. Number three, accountability. Number four, it requires what? Leadership beyond the founder. And I said, no. The goal of, and I said again, a founder should eventually become what? The least what? Important person in what? The daily what? Operation. The founder should be what? The least most important person in the daily affairs of the company. If the daily affairs of the company requires the founder, then you are still self-employed. Say hallelujah. So not because the founder lacks value, but because the founder has successfully transferred value into system. So that's the work of these 90 days Businesship. To turn you from a founder to institution. We must help you transit that illusion of a founder to an institution. Once you are still consigned with the daily affairs of the institution, you don't have a business. Sorry, it's not my fault. So let's move on. So the principles for day 2, look at the principles we concluded in day 2. Number 1, the goal of a founder is not to become indisplaceable. No, without me, I'm the unchangeable changer. That's the illusion. I doesn't change. I do not change. I'm the founder. I'm the owner. Blah, blah, blah. Pride, arrogance. So the goal of a founder is to build an organization that no longer depends on him. He's not the alpha omega. Sorry. He's just the founder. So reflection question. Number 1, what activities in my business cannot happen without me? Write it down. I say write it down. Don't look at me as if I'm... Number 2, what business must always pass through me? Number 3, if I disappear for 60 days, what will happen? Number 4, am I building system or creating dependency? And number 5, am I an owner of a business or of a job? Should I paraphrase? Number 1,